Well, friends, we're so happy that Mary Delgado has joined us today. I have worked with her with white women facing racism, one woman at a time, and she has so much to offer to us. Um, and this is the time for people who may be interested in joining this 9-month program, though Mary will tell you more about that. I don't want to get in the way of that. But when we say 9 months, it's like conceiving and going through a pregnancy and then a delivery. So that is part of the reason that we go with the 9 months. So again, I want to welcome everybody. I see more people are joining us, and that's great. We'll wait until 12:45, and then we will be making league announcements. But I'm going to sneak one quick one in, which is please save um, May 9th, 2 o'clock, as an orientation and a gathering. And it's a chance to get to know people better. It's good for the new members to find out all the activities going on in the league. And then in June, we'll make an announcement too about our annual meeting. So Mary, take it away. I know you're going to do a great job, and people are always welcome. And Gail has her hand up right away.
I already have my
Go
hand
ahead,
up.
Gail.
I gave birth last night, right, Mary?
Woo! Congratulations, Gail.
That's right.
Well said.
Yeah, Gail was in the group. I will talk a little bit more. Well, first of all, thank you very much, Pat and Gail, for inviting me. Um, we have had, I'd say five or six women from the League of Women Voters in Milwaukee uh, go through the program within the last, I say, 4 years. And so I just really want to thank you very much for your time. Um, I'll go through we have a PowerPoint here and I'll go through it. And then I really would ask you very much to to ask questions and any concerns, that you're thinking about as I'm going through this. And Gail, since you have birthed last night, and Pat, since you birthed quite a while ago, your
Yeah.
child is a whole lot older. But I really would like the two of you to, give any input, that you may have, because you have both gone through the program. Okay, I just learned how to share my screen because Molly Henry, who is my co-presenter, she woke up today with a very bad migraine, and she was the person who would really handle the PowerPoint. So 5 minutes ago, I learned how to share a PowerPoint on Zoom, so that's what I'm going to do. And you didn't know it, ladies, but here you are. The name of the program is actually Facing Racism, One White Woman at a Time. But what we did was we kind of changed the words a little bit, White Women Facing Racism, and it became WWFR. It sounds like a radio station, but actually it is our logo now. And yes, it is a journey toward transformation. And I'll try and explain a little bit about what that means as we go through. And I don't mind either. As I'm going through this, if you have a question right away, like you can write it down and wait, or if you don't want to wait, just say, Mary, may I ask a question? And the answer is yes. So it does not have, you don't have to wait until the end. Well, the first part is people always like to know how something started. So I can do this quickly. Um, I read James Baldwin when I was 25 years old, and that was in the 1960s. And something hit me. I don't remember what it was, but it's just something that that man said to me. through his writing, The Fire Next Time. Well, I let it go, of course, and then I have lots of experience with teaching children who are not white, Black and Hispanic and Asian and Native American in Chicago, Milwaukee, Cincinnati, Connecticut, Bridgeport, Connecticut, Puerto Rico, and then finally in Chicago and Milwaukee. In 2009, I made a decision to myself, I need to know what the hell is going on with race in this country. And so I just really started on a journey of my own. And so in 2019, I was diagnosed with cancer, and I had to go through 3 months of chemo, which meant January, March, April, which meant that I had to stop everything. And what I really didn't want to stop, I am a member of the league and have in the 3 years, 16, 17, 18, I worked with the league, and we went into Milwaukee public schools, into the high schools, and we registered students. And I really liked doing that. But when not COVID, when chemo hit, I couldn't do it anymore. And I prayed very hard that something good could come out of my chemo time. And I was also in a retreat during that time. And so this came out. I mean, at the end of the retreat and in March 2019, I knew I had an idea. White people, white women, and race. That's all I had. And so I went to Althea. Their names are there under collaboration. Althea Washington, Dana Orr are two very good friends of mine. And yes, they are Black women. I went to them and I said, I have an idea of white women and race. And immediately they said, we will support you. So that's 2019. We wrote the curriculum. I sat down in a couple weeks. I wrote a curriculum, and here we are. And why can't I do this? Oh, there it is. Why the program exists? Well, this is like a call to action, okay? But it's not the way we usually think about a call to action. This is a call for action inside of ourselves, not outside of ourselves. And so the question to ask is, why do white people have, excuse me, why do white people have advantages that people who are not white do not have? And that right here, I don't know if you can see my cursor or not, but we call that white privilege, white superiority. But the question really is, why do white people have this and people who are not white don't have it? And what advantages do white people have and other people who are not white do not have? Why? I mean, what? Okay. So the call of action here is to look at ourselves. And that's hard for some people to really think of, that looking at ourselves is an act. It is action. And it can be very difficult action. Okay, on here we also have the goal. And so actually I want to spend just a little time on what the goal is. That's the crux of the transformation. Couple questions to ask ourselves. Who are we as white women in this society? Have we ever asked ourselves that question? Another way to say it is, what does it mean to be a white woman in this country right now? Again, those are questions that we may never have really asked ourselves because we never had to. And so the call to action is to actually start thinking about what it means to be a white woman in this society. And the thing is, I'm going to say something that sounds real simplistic, but it really is true. We don't know what we don't know. I'll say it again. We truly do not know what we don't know. And the goal is to find out what it is we do not know in the sense of being white in this country. And so what it means is, okay, for example, I, as a white woman, look at the world, I look at life, I look at this country, I look at society, I look at race through the lens of a white person. I have a white lens. That's all I have. It's not good or bad, or it's neutral. It's what I have as a person in this country. However, that doesn't mean that through reading and through discussion and through practice and through writing and through real deep thinking, it doesn't mean that I cannot put aside the white lens. I can never get rid of it. I don't want to get rid of it. I mean, it's who I am. But there's no reason why I cannot put it aside and start looking through the lens of a Black person in this country. With that, we can do. But that's a choice. That's a choice that we make. And so I'm saying that if there is any, excuse me, if you would have any kind of a little inkling or a little thought or just a little, a little sense of, I would like to know more about this. I would really like to be able to set aside my white lens and to view the world through the lens of a person who's not white. Some people call it empathy, and that's true. But we're going a little bit different. I mean, we're going a little bit deeper than maybe empathy, and we're looking at it in a little different way. The thing is, we can't do it overnight. And so this kind of change, we cannot do it overnight. And so this slide, like, who is this for? Well, it's for any white woman who thinks that she would really, really like to know more about what it is that race is all about in this country and my place as a white woman in it. And so I'll say it again, if you were to have even just a slight little thought or a slight little inkling in your mind that this is something you would like to delve into, okay, I would invite you then to become part of this group we're starting in June of 2026. I would invite you to go on the journey with us that Pat has already gone through, and so has Gail. Um, well, I'll get into the more of the logistics. Um, but do you feel that something needs to change? Willing to examine your own beliefs, open to discomfort because you will be discomforted. And you want to take action, but you don't know how. But this action right here is not action outside of ourselves, it's action within ourselves. Well, how the program works, small groups, 5 to 7 women. Yes, it is 9 months. And there's no way that we can really change ourselves overnight, over a weekend. We may hear lectures, Black people. We may take a course, in the university. All that's fine, but real change takes time and real transformation of our thoughts, of our feelings, of our attitudes, toward Black people. It takes time. Each of the sessions are 90 minutes, and there are 18 of them. And so that's about every 2 weeks for 9 months. But we do take off December for obvious reasons. There is reading and writing, sharing, listening, discussion, and reflection. All of that happens within the 90 minutes. I can explain a little bit more about how we operate in those 90 minutes. And Gail uh, and Pat can really talk to us a little bit more because they've already gone through it. But right now, I'm just going to keep going, and then we can, if you have questions, just jump in or write them down, and we'll have time for questions. It has to be level. And so, my internet is saying it's unstable. It's like me. If I come out or if you don't hear me, somebody just tell me. Um, this program is, yes, it is intellectual. We have to learn. We white people do not know. We have not been taught in this country. We simply have not been taught the correctly in this country. And so, yes, part of it is intellectual, but it doesn't stay there. It has to be emotional because without emotional, we do not change. And so, yes, we will reflect deeply, we'll share honestly, and we'll listen without interruption. Okay, all of that we can explain a little bit later. But this is it's a kind of group that you may never have experienced before. I'll say it that way. Uh, the program is unique. We have small groups. The books are chosen carefully. Again, you can ask me questions and I can explain that later. We do writing, but this is not academic writing at all. And we're not asked really to fix anything, okay, but just to see things that are different. And we have the leadership of Althea Washington and Dana Orr, are two of my very good friends. They are Black women, and they have come alongside of us since, our first program was in 2017, no, 2021, our first program. And so they have been with us ever since. It does require their readings. We do have the books, a personal reflection, showing up whenever you can. 9 months is a long time, but we have different ways of handling that. But you have to be uncomfortable. This is not easy work at all. And the next one, there is a program fee of $35. That one covers, you will get a binder of about 50-page binder that will help you as we go through the whole program. And so the $35 covers the cost of the binder and then also the mailing. That's the cost. Okay. What I really would like for people to do is we do have the whole program is on a website. It's called whitewomenfacingracism.org. And if you click on that, the whole program, all of the books, I mean, absolutely everything is on that website. And on that website, it does give you a chance, if you're interested, that you fill out a form. I receive that form, then I reach out to you, and we set up a time, just the two of us. And that's where I can really, get down more and deeply, into the whole program. And then you have a chance to answer or to question and any kind of questions that you have. So there is a place right in the website for you to sign up, and I get the form. And so, well, it says here, come and be part of a group of women ready to change. The change is huge. Um, and I'll let um, the ladies who have gone through the program already, they can kind of talk about it a little bit because they know. And so it just would be, a chance for you to ask them questions. There's a chance now for you to ask me questions. I do want to open it up to the group. I think this is the last one. Yeah. What resonates with you? What hesitations? Well, everybody, we have a lot of hesitations. And what kind of questions, that you might have. I'm going to quit this little program right
Screen.
here. I can stop the share, and then we'll just I can answer questions, and so can the other people. So here we are. So everybody kind of unmute, and Gail and Pat and me will answer anything that you might have. I can go back to any of the slides again if you wish. I just want you to know um, we don't change overnight. This is 9 months. We birth babies in 9 months, and we birth a whole new way of dealing, with race in ourselves as white women. But it takes time.
Thank you, Mary.
And
So
so,
if you want to put your hand up, or if you know how to do it through the internet, either. Okay, Terry, can you unmute?
Yes, I thought you wanted us to demonstrate that we know how to do that.
Well done.
Okay, so I guess I pass.
Okay. One thing I'll say is I bought a lot of my books on eBay. And so then I took all my books and we had a silent auction with the League of Women Voters, and that box got picked up right away. So people are interested in reading. Kelly?
Hi, yeah, I'm wondering, can you talk a little bit about how the small group sessions work?
Yes, thank you. Good question. Um, we have, well, first of all, 5 to 7, even 7 is too much. I'd say 5, 6 people. And how it works is there is a book to read, and the writing part of this, there is writing. And the writing part of this is you don't care why he wrote the book, he or she, and you don't care how he or she wrote the book. It's what are the words of this author, and we have black and white authors, men and women authors. There are 7 books. And so we ask ourselves, what is it that this author is saying to me right now? And that's what we write down. And when we come back to the next session, every woman goes on mute, and each woman has a chance to read what it is she wrote. And a lot of women in the beginning are a little hesitant, maybe have never done this kind of thing, or, high school, college, we've all written term papers. This is not a term paper. This is a personal reflection. And Pat and Gail, you can talk a little bit more about that because you've gone through it now. And so this is not a term paper. This does not have a beginning and a middle and an end, and you don't have to cite your sources. This is all has to do with what is it the person is saying to me right now.
Yeah, I want to build on that and tie it in with Liz, who asked a question, what are a couple of revelations people have experienced? And Liz is our chair of the DEI committee within the League of Women Voters, which you're all invited to join and to work with us. I think for me, it was solidarity and friendship was one of the revelations. So Mary Ellen and I went through it, and I felt closer to her because I knew she was on the journey with me. Mary Sussman, also from the league, went on it the time before us. And then we gathered in the summertime, like a picnic, to connect with people who had done it in other years or other semesters. So I think it's the solidarity, it's the humility. And Mary was meeting with her sisters with the same program last Friday, which was great. And somebody said, what about this writing? And Mary said, you don't have to be a star author. You just have to use writing to think. And there's a lot of research that talks about if you just even handwrite a response to some things, you slow down your brain enough to reflect on it. Gail, what are you thinking in terms of some of the revelations that you have experienced and how you felt connected to other people in the group?
Well, that's definitely true. By the time you're done, you've shared a lot with each other that you almost become best friends because you're opening up to these people that you don't know and being very honest about your feelings and your history and your experiences. Um, the thing I said last night, and Mary asked us last night at the end to reflect on the journey even. We reflected on the journey that we'd been through. And the thing that I was so nervous about taking this. I did not want to do this. I knew I was going to be accused of being racist. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't think I was. But what this allowed me to do was to find the grace to forgive myself for any harm that I might have. I'm emotional just talking about it. Any harm that I might have inflicted on someone. Because you learn the history and you begin to understand, oh, I know how I got here now. This is not something I'm going to beat myself up for. This is a long, long, long history of systemic and institutional things occurring and religious things occurring that have put us all here at this time and moment. So I just feel like it allowed me to forgive myself, to forgive others, to not be so judgmental, to be a better listener, not just with race, not just Black, with everything. And that's what it did for me. The hardest part was reading the books and feeling like we were going backwards.
Yep.
That was the hardest part for, I think, all of us.
Going backwards in the sense of what's happening in our country.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
At one point, I told the group, I couldn't read the book. And I just literally broke down and sobbed. I can't read this with what's going on.
And this is thank you for saying that, Gail, because when we come together, this is not class time. This is not university. This is not teacher, and then everybody's a student, and it's just a very different kind of ambiance. And the thing is, you don't have to go anywhere because you're very comfortable in your own room. I mean, in your own house. And so that's one of the nice things about Zoom. When we first started out, it was in my home in 2019. And it was I lived in Milwaukee at that point, and it was in my home. But then 2020, that's when COVID hit. So ever since 2020, it's been on Zoom. And I didn't think it would really work
Likewise.
on Zoom, but it works very well. Um, Gail and Pat, you both had it on Zoom. And so, yes, it does. That's the beauty. I mean, it's wonderful that we can use the internet like this. Um, it's just, I guess I'm kind of at a loss of words. I've done this now since 2019, and I just feel every single group, I learn every single time. There's something new always with every group, and it's like birthing babies. Um, what was that? Gone with the Wind? Isn't that so I'm birthing babies or whatever that was. And it's just that 60 people, 60 women have gone through so far. Gail's group, we had our last session last night. There will be one more session tonight. There are 18 sessions. And so it's every 2 weeks or so, but we take December off. And so, well, it's always very sad to see it be the last time that we're together, as a group. But not really, because we do have every September now we are meeting. It's a not a farm per se, but it's out in not West Dallas. I'll think of it. It's a couple miles west of Milwaukee. Two of the women who went through the program, they own
Farmette.
like a ranch, yeah. And we've had three in September on Saturdays. We had a group meeting, and about 30 people would show up each time. And so we'll continue to do that again. If you really do feel a need to know more about this, I would ask you to go onto the website. It's oh, I just lost it. Oh,
I'll put it in the chat.
yeah, thank you. Just and there's a spot in that website where you just sign up your name and give me your email. You send me an email. I reach out to you. We set up a Zoom meeting like this, just the two of us, and then you can talk, you can ask questions, and we can talk about it. We will start the very first or the next session. The next 9 months will start in June. That's just getting to know everybody. Session one will start in July, and then we go till the end of March or April, depending. It's every 2 weeks, and then December is off completely. Yeah, Gail?
Mary, we have two people who want to ask questions, and I know you need to leave soon.
Oh,
So
thank you.
So
Oh, thank
it's
you.
Joan and then Charlie. So Joan go first and then Charlie. Go ahead, Joan.
Two questions. This sounds similar to a course that was done, I believe, through the Y about how to be an anti-racist.
Yes.
Does that ring a bell? I'm wondering are you familiar with that, and is there much overlap?
Okay, I
And then-
guess. Oh, go ahead.
And the second question is, what were some of the books that are used in the program?
Okay. Answer your first question. I took that. It's at the Y. And when I just moved 2 years ago. So I took that. and it was very good. However, it dealt more on an intellectual level. It never got into the real emotion. And okay, so that's one difference. Um, what was your second question about the books?
The
What?
books are on the website.
Oh,
So
they
you can
are.
click on
Okay,
that
thank
link.
you.
All the
Yeah.
books will be on there.
All
Yeah.
right, thanks.
And Charlie, do you want to unmute? Unmute?
Thanks for putting together a lovely, what it seems, curriculum. I was just wondering if people had the opportunity to develop sort of storytelling skills about if people have shared their concerns. I was a medical educator, and I had a woman, a medical student of color, who shared an incredible experience she had in my community in Brookfield, why she didn't like to come here. And it was that she and her husband had been considering, they were looking at property in Brookfield in case she had matched at Children's, which she thought she shared some horrible experiences she had had when she moved to Milwaukee with me. And this is a story I like to tell my neighbors, because when she pulled a flyer from a house, and this is a woman who was immaculate. She was not looking like she didn't belong in my community. The neighbor fouled her and called the police. And this
Oh,
was in 2012, 2014. I'd like to share this story with my neighbors because people don't realize, like, I can pull a flyer from a house and no one's going to foul me because I'm white, right? And that is absolutely what white privilege is, that we
right.
go through this country without ever having these horrible barriers. So I
Well,
think, do you guys develop that? Because I think it's really important, once
well,
you have this realization yourself, that you share others' experiences who've shared them with you.
yes.
I mean, it's just like the abortion storytelling. It becomes very powerful when people hear this, because you're totally, um, uh, as individuals who are white, as you've probably identified, we're totally shielded from these experiences, right?
Well,
Frequently they don't. I can tell you, I've gotten myself in trouble because I've called people on the carpet for it. Um, just because of I had always worked in underserved communities and
okay.
seen what the differences of what happened. But it can be, uh, you can get yourself in a little hot water sometimes when you call people on the carpet for it.
Yeah, you're right. But thanks for sharing. That's a very good, your perspective. The thing is, I guess your question was,
Sort of helping people being able to be effective storytellers and
yes,
beyond themselves, like expanding this concept
okay,
just within yourself, but to raise people's awareness of white privilege.
yes. Well, all of that can happen, but it has to happen within us first.
Mhm.
And so, Gail or Pat, if you have anything to say to Charlie,
I'm wondering if we could say it. I'm watching the time and I see Terry has a question. So I wanted to get to Terry. Charlie, I've written it down, so we'll discuss it once Mary has to
Okay.
leave. But yes, we do use storytelling in a very effective way. And also something called the holy interruption. And I know I can explain that later. And I know there was a question about prayer also in the chat. So we'll answer that question as well. So Terry, go ahead.
What is the reading expectation? I saw the book list and everything, and you've got some excellent books on there. How are you expecting us to read like one book every 2 weeks, or do we read the same books, or do we select from the literature, or?
Go ahead, Mary.
Okay. Yeah. There's 9 books, I think, and some of them are broken up. It's half and half, so you've got 2 weeks. And the pages, probably 200 pages in 2 weeks.
Mhm.
And some
Okay.
of the books, it's 90. That very first book is real little, but we divided. There are reasons, because of what it is we need to, um, because the book is so powerful, we need more time with it. I'll say it that way. Um, well, Gail and Pat, was the reading too much?
No, I managed it, and I'll get back to Gail, but Susan put something in the chat that I wanted to comment on, and this came up with the persisters. It's the question of using prayer. And is it a kind of interfaith group that everybody has their way of handling it? So I'm just going to say for myself, I describe myself as a woman of faith who works for justice. I'm a Unitarian Universalist. We're sort of the interfaith group. I know Jews are comfortable working with us. Different faith traditions are welcome. And I think prayer is a way of calming ourselves down, but also, like for me, sometimes I just have to shout out the word love. When people start talking God, in my mind, I say love. What would love want me to do? So we find a way of adjusting. And I'm going to put Gail on the spot for that question as well.
Yes. This was one of my biggest concerns when Mary and I first chatted. I said, I am not a religious person at all. I came to appreciate the beginning and ending prayer as really almost my favorite part of getting together. And Mary's never heard this before, so she might be surprised because it did. It calmed me down in the beginning, number one. Mary's the one who provides the prayer, and they're short. And at the end, it it was my last moment of reflection. And it worked out beautifully. And there's only one book that's very, very focused on Christianity and the impact of Christianity on racism.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. That's not, I can stay a couple more minutes. It's okay. I'm looking at the time here. It's so nice to have Gail and Pat who have gone through the program. Sometimes when I give a talk or something like this to people, and I'm the only one. And so this is really, I appreciate, I know, Gail and Pat, your input. The prayer thing bothers people. I mean, it just bothers people. I mean, I understand that. I come from a faith background. I do believe in God, and I do take Jesus. Whether he saved me or not, I have no idea. But I know that I believe that he lived, and I like the way he taught us. Okay, I'll say it that way. That's where I'm coming from. It doesn't make, I mean, this is not a religion class. I will start it. I use Psalm 46 usually in the beginning. The Bible, it's a Hebrew Bible. And the ending prayer is anything that we can find. Althea and Dana come, okay, it's always white women for 18 sessions. But there are 5 times, 5 of those sessions where Dana, a Black woman, Althea, a Black woman, they've been with me since the beginning. They come on. And that's a time, it's kind of like a free-for-all. Now, both of those women are Christian. They will pray to Jesus. They will pray to God. They will pray. Well, that's what they believe. And so in a group like this, it's not a religion class. But is prayer important to me? Yes, it is. But I really don't care how people pray or if people don't pray. This is something, we're talking about race here. We're talking about black and white race in the United States. That's what we're talking about. And we're talking about white women. We're at the top of the heap in this country. And yeah, I know
Below white man.
I know, I'm just gonna say there's the whole white man, white woman thing, but right now we're women. And we are white women. And we are at the top of the heap. And what does that mean? And well, I don't want to go into all of this right now, but that's where we're coming from. And we need to get this out of our heads, into our hearts, into our guts, because women live in our guts. We do. We're not into, I mean, yes, we're intellectual. Yes, we read. Yes, we think, all of that. But where do we live? You see a black person walking down the street. Black person coming this way, you're coming this way. Are you thinking? I don't think so. That's here. So and that's why it's 9 months. We give birth to new it really changes us. But I believe that if we don't change in this country, and I think, it's up to us. I truly believe it's up to us. Or I wouldn't be doing this. So I can stay a little longer. I'm watching the time. It's okay. What
Okay.
any other question or concern?
I'm Robin, and I have a question just about how this works. Are the 90-minute sessions in the evening, during the day? When do
Good
they
question.
occur?
Yeah, thank you. Excellent. No, they occur at night because people of all different ages and all different, where some are working, some aren't, we're retired or not. And so, I mean, we've had people as young as 21 and as old as 82, in a group. So, um, you decide. Okay, so we've always had two groups of 5 or 6 women each. And so that's 2 different nights. And so on the very first night, after, 5 women say yes, okay, we set up a time. And then the women decide we want Tuesday night. But it's the women of the group. I don't decide. The women of the group decide.
And my group met on Friday night, which was weird, but it ended up being the time that people were available.
Yeah. We don't do it on the weekends. So it'd be Monday, Monday to Friday. Most of them start at 6:30. So 6:30 to 8, 90 minutes. And 4 years ago, we had a nation group. We had people from California, Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, and South Carolina.
So Kelly asked a question in the chat. She said, is there a course outline that could be sent out to attendees of this meeting today, along with a list of actual books that will be used?
The answer is yes. And so what I will do, I'll send it to you, Pat.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
I'll send you the answer to what you just asked for.
Sure.
And then you can send it out to your group.
Okay, and I'll be working with Gail because she's got the technology skills. So we will get it done. Thank you.
Oh, well, I'll send it to Gail.
Okay, good.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
she's nodding agreement.
Yeah, no problem. In fact, Gail, you have it all, but you don't have it electronically. I will send you the the electronic. You're on mute, Gail. You're on mute.
You're right. I have it, but on paper.
Yes.
Okay,
Right.
we'll work it out. But thank you. It's a great question, Kelly.
Yes, it is.
There is another question. Oh, I can help you send it out to the group too. Thank you, Kelly. So between Gail and Kelly, we'll get it done. Thank you.
Sure.
So I think we're at the time that I want to open it up for league announcements. And
Okay, I'm going to leave.
we're going to thank you. So please unmute.